Hey guys, this video will be kind of a guide to fully disassemble and reassemble the VFC V3 M4 magazines. And before we go ahead, this is for Airsoft. As you can see, it cannot hold any real bullets, only BBs. So first things first, make sure there's no gas in your magazine. As you can see right here, there's nothing. And first thing you want to do is to pry the bottom plate off, which can be done with any flathead. There we go. And that just slides out. Go ahead and put it right here. And here you have some screws that you can get out. Fair warning, these are very soft. As you can see, it's already starting to strip on mine. Alright, let's do this. So if I sound a little all over the place in these videos, because I'm not reading off a script like how I do my other videos. You can just lift it up. And here you'll find your rubber seal. That's what they call it, I guess. And that's pretty much it for the bottom. There's not much you can do here. You will need an Allen key as well. Once that's off, you can just lift it up. Just be careful because this is under strict tension. We have the dry firing switch, the gas router, and pretty much everything else here. I'm pretty sure this can go out. It's just a little hard to fill it out. But so once that's out, I recommend you taking out the input valve. For that, you just need a flathead and unscrew it. And it comes out. And you do have an O-ring right here. Put that to the side. To fully get out the top part of the magazine, you will need to unscrew this screw right all the way in there. So you will need a long enough screwdriver. And you just kind of reach in there and start turning. It is very tight, but it should loosen up. There we go. Now this whole part comes out and screws not. There we go. And now this is pretty much just an empty shell. So here you have another rubber seal, which you can just kind of pry off. Put it right here actually. And from there, the only part you got left is this knocker, I guess, whatever you call it. And that can be removed with a valve tool or just some patience and a flathead. And once you unscrew enough, it should all come out. And you can see right here actually an O-ring stuck behind, so there we go. And that's pretty much everything out of this. Put it aside here. And as you can see here, this is the, I'll just search up the part's name. And as you can see right here, there's 3 O-rings. Okay, so I just organize everything to see all of the part. Of course, the screws are out there as you can see, but this is pretty much the whole thing taken apart. All the major parts, of course. All the O-rings are still in there, but to get them out, you just gotta, pry it off. It's pretty easy, and then make sure you put it back on. All right, so I recommend every time that you fully taking this out and do your maintenance, I recommend, wiping down all the parts and the O-rings, and then make sure you reapply all of the, oops, unfocused, my bad, and reapply all of the lube. And for that, you can use Super Lube PTFE, and that goes for all of the rubber O-rings on this. So I got some Super Lube PTFE right here. Just simply apply it to all of the surfaces of the O-ring. And now we will begin the reassembly. So first things first, I'm going to put this part back to the main top part, and that will just screw in. So while I'm doing this, I just want to talk about the maintenance part of having gas blowbacks. This is actually my first time fully disassembling this magazine, other than just a few maintenance, which doesn't require all of this. But it's I just want to say that you can always just open it up, see it for yourself, because I haven't watched any tutorial, I haven't seen any diagrams of this, but to be fair, it's all pretty simple. Everything just kind of fits back together pretty well, as long as you don't lose any part and keep track of everything. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta open it up and figure it out yourself. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. All right, so once you got this screwed back in, make sure the opening is fully aligned. You don't want it to be like sideways. Like, I'm sure earlier it was a little bit to the side, which is not how it should be. You want it to be fully, the opening to be fully aligned so that the gas output can come out easier, I guess. I'm not sure if that has an impact, but I'm sure it would be better. All right, once you're finished, you just gotta slip this back on. Oh, it definitely goes this way. So I'm not sure how to explain this, but the part that comes out a little, you want to put it here. You can kind of see it. It all kind of fits together like a little puzzle. Make sure it's on. There we go. And I would recommend, applying new lube to this too. So as far as maintenance goes, this magazine doesn't really need much. I would say these are pretty much the best gas blowback magazines there is right now. Because well, when something leaks, it's for me, it's always been the bottom part, and you just gotta unscrew it and start readjusting, and it will seal again pretty nicely. The upper part really never leaks for me, at least. So once you got everything back on, you can put it back into the mag shell. Fits in, and remember the long screw. You just gotta put it back through that. Let's see if you can see it through that hole. So that was a little hard to get the screws in, but I'll just explain what I did. I I put the long screw in first, and I held it with the screwdriver, and then I put this part on the screw because it would be really hard to see if it lines up correctly. I'm not sure if that was easy to understand, but to get the screw to align properly, it's a little hard because you're working in a shell. But if you have the screwdriver at the bottom guiding it, and then you put this on top of the screw, it's a lot easier. As you can see, once you tighten it, it's in place. Make sure everything's good. Now I would recommend putting your intake valve in. Don't forget to give it some super loop. And I'm sorry if this my camera start unfocusing on anything I do. There's not really much I can do about it. And it's not a camera either. This is all of my filming are done with my phone. And you just kind of tighten it. So make sure you don't forget your whatever this thing's called, the little lever to tell your magazine that it's about to be. You just kind of plop it in right there in that configuration, and you put the bolt lock back switch like that. And as you can see, once the follower comes up, it pushes this up just like that. Then you can put your magazine router on it. You can just plop it on. And so this is the hardest part, right? So oh, there that goes, but let me explain this. So you want to put this follower in, and you want the switch you want this to be under the switch. All right, so I've been trying to do this on camera with no success. It's pretty much impossible given how much parts can just, fall out. So I'll just try to explain it. You kind of want to push this top cover from the side in for the little tabs on the follower to be able to get it under this lever for everything to work. And once you get close enough, you can use something small enough to push the follower down so it's easier for the lever to go down on. And you got to be wary of the little dry firing switch at the top, which can fall out, and the router can easily fall out. Just make sure everything's in place as you're doing it. All right, so another tip I just found out, you can put a little tape on this dry firing switch to put it back without this little switch to fall out, which it is known to fall out and mess everything up. It's really hard. So I recommend to put a piece of tape to hold it in place while you're putting the top cover on. And once you're close enough, push this down to help the little follower tab to get under the black lever. And once you got that done, make sure everything's good. You can just push this down if that is going down. And if you push this back, the follower stays down a little, then all the function are good. There we go. And then you just put the little screws back in. All right, so now it's just the bottom cover, which is the easiest part. Just don't forget to put some lube on it, and you just plop it back in, just like that. And make sure it's all seated correctly, and just put the screws back in. And I recommend to tighten them all, at the same time. Don't tighten one in one go. Do it evenly the for it to seal correctly. Alright, so once all the screws are tightened in, get the back cover and just slide it back on. Once it clicks, you are pretty much done. That is it. So, as you can see, it was pretty basic. I hope this guide helps you out. And, comment if you have any questions. And thanks for watching.